Chapter 1. This is along with chapter 11, one of the more famous chapters in the book. And this is also the chapter where he will explore the idea of double consciousness, or introduce the idea of double consciousness. So, but before I get to that, I want to spend some time on the epigraph that we see here. So an epigraph is what you see at the beginning of a chapter. It's usually between the title and the chapter beginning. It's very ubiquitous now in our contemporary literature, maybe to the point of overuse, but it's a way to provide a leitmotif, a tonality, sort of a thematic sort of sense to a chapter, something you're saying, right? Uh, Du Bois is using it for that, and the epigraph for that, and also for much more. So as you can see, there's two parts to the epigraph. So one is a poem, and then the other is a piece of musical notation. So the poem, right, is you have this asterisk here, which tells us that, as it says here, there are explanatory notes that are explaining where these epigraphs come from. So Arthur Symons is no one remembers Arthur Symons now, but in the 19th century he was a big European poet and thinker. So before every chapter, in every epigraph, Du Bois will place a famous or a classical poetic expression, a poetic fragment, famous poem, right? Something set in words, right? Which will be from the classical, either European or classical Greek or Latin tradition, right? So that will be the one part of every epigraph. The second part will be this musical notation. Now, he does not define what the musical notation is. I looked it up in the back, and I'm the one who wrote this, the title of it in, right? Nobody Knows the Trouble I've Seen, which is a tune that you probably know from uh, watching cartoons or listening to advertisements. It's used a lot, but it's a famous Negro spiritual, right? And that's what Du Bois is quoting in every epigraph, right? Now he's quoting it not as words, but as pure music. He doesn't have the means to play the music for us. It's a little bit before cinema, so he's giving us his best attempt at a type of soundtracking.